Stack. High yields on stable coins, yeah, that's where my bag at. All I really need is Wi-Fi, get money on DeFi, mega cash on MetaMask. You better run when the runners run, show you how to get your money up. Dollar inflated like bubble gum, markets are jumping like double dutch. Buying up gold till I get a ton, crypto, yeah, I got some. You better run when the runners run, you better run when the runners run.
All right, welcome everyone. You are running with the runners. This is Michael Tharp, EDU. It starts with you. It's Tuesday, March 14th, 2023. Tonight, we are going to break down the runners 10 steps to wealth that I've been working on and creating for a little bit here. As always, let me get in my good brother, Ricardo Hamilton, aka Mims. Make it make sense. What's going down, my brother? You were sniping those charts today, weren't you?
Man, it's getting easy. Once you start making money, it's hard to stop, man. And you have fun in the process. Lace up, let's get wealthy. You know what time it is. Running with the runners. Phenomenal show we got ready for y'all tonight.
All right, so Ricardo's always on top of everything. So we have some huge Dotbox and Node news after this presentation. We're going to get into it right after that. It just released. Very quickly, we're going to break it down. You're going to hear our reactions from. This is revolutionary, Ricardo, and there's lots of things we're going to get into. But I've been thinking long term now, Ricardo. I've been thinking, what do I want to teach my boys? You know, what am I going to leave my legacy as? You know, of what people should do, how they should conduct themselves to live a good life, to be wealthy, to be prosperous, to give back. And I've kind of created this tonight, and I wanted to, you know, kind of model it after Jordan Peterson's 10 or 12 rules for life. I just went with 10 steps to wealth of a mindset of things you have to always keep in mind to be successful, help other people, and make sure that you're winning all the time. I guess we're just going to get into it. Is there anything else that you want to add before we go?
Nah, let's get it in. Let's bring the value to the people.
All right. Yeah, because of the updates from Dotbox and the nodes that just released, we're going to try to go ahead and get through this so that we can make sure we cover all that because you guys want to know what's going on there. So the runners 10 steps to wealth. All right. And of course, you know, our mentor is Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And of course, guys, it's in our screen every single night. It is rule number 1. You must know the difference between an asset and a liability and buy assets. If you want to be rich, this is all you need to know. It is rule number 1. It is the only rule. Okay? Assets over liabilities. Most people still have a hard time understanding what is an asset, what is a liability, and then they have a hard time disciplining themselves to buy assets over liabilities. So Mims, before you make this make sense, okay? Again, I was a teacher, so I want to do some visuals here, okay? This is an asset. This is a liability, okay? I love Jordans, okay? It's okay to buy them every now and then, but 99% of the time, they're not going to make you money unless you're selling sneakers. So this is a liability. This is an asset because it's gone up in value over time for 5,000 years. This is liability, okay? 99% of the time, Jordans will go down in value, okay? But think about this, Ricardo. How many people in this world, in America, have bought Jordans versus silver? I would wager to bet a lot more people have bought Jordans than have bought silver. Mims, why do people need to buy assets over liabilities?
Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Most people want to have a better quality of lifestyle. Most people want to be able to leave a legacy for their loved ones. Most people don't want to struggle. Most people don't want to live day to day. You know, most people want to make sure that their tomorrow is better than their yesterday. And there's a certain way that happens, and it's not by buying liabilities. It's knowing how to convert liabilities into assets. And I think the reason why most people don't do it is because of instant gratification. You know, it feels good, you know, when you do that impulse buy and you go shopping and you release those endorphins and you got some brand new Jordans, You feeling good, looking good, that is good. But in the long term, to be more financially secure, it'd be much better for you to have sort of a delayed gratification and start buying assets like silver and like gold. It's not the most sexy, or attractive or fun thing to do per se, as opposed to, buying some new clothes or consuming something that, gives you this instant release of endorphins. But it's going to be much better for you later on. And then ideally, you should get to a point where you should be able to buy liabilities like Jordans and it doesn't affect you financially at all.
And we will definitely get into that. And shout out to Joe Pringle here, bringing up a good point. Most people think the house they live in is an asset. So the quick rule, guys, when it comes to this is an asset puts money in your pocket, a liability takes money out of your pocket. So even though your main house you live in might go up in value and you might make some profit on it if you tend to sell it, every month it is taking more money out of your pocket, whether it's for your mortgage, your insurance, your taxes, upkeep, lawn, snow, trash, whatever it is. Okay. Not that buying a house to live in is bad at all. We're not saying that. But if it's the house that you live in, 99% of the time, it's going to be a liability. So that's the first thing you have to do. And then we're going to talk about how to do that and how to be disciplined in doing that. All right. Here's the other one. Next one, Ricardo, is your number one asset is time. So Robert Kiyosaki says the only difference between a rich person and a poor person is how they use their time. You can use your time watching Netflix and watching sports and wasting your time complaining. Not that all those things are wrong, but if you're continuing to waste your time on frivolous things that don't matter, you're going to lose. So understand, time is the most valuable asset. And you don't think this when you're in your 20s, and Ricardo's a little bit younger than me, still in your 30s. You're like, I got all the time in the world. What difference does it make? I'm young. Let's get this. But as you get older and a little more wise, you realize time is everything. Time is the only thing you can't buy. You can't buy time. Mims, anything you want to add with just how important time is and how people need to value how they spend it?
Yeah, I mean, it's critical that you become a producer of time and more than a consumer of time. I realize that most people, they love to consume time. We're consuming, Netflix, we're, doing something that is not necessarily enriching us financially. Like today, Mike, we learn how to trade and we're making money. That took time, right? But because we took that time to figure out, how to long and short the market, we are the income producing asset. We make money when we want. And that's because we're implementing the strategies and the principles of the wealthy. And so when you properly know how to allocate your time, you begin to master time. Because a lot of people feel like they're running out of time. But when you start to master time, you realize you have more than enough time to do whatever it is you want because you're not bogged down by working for somebody else for 40 hours of your week. You don't have a lot of the distractions and all the other things that normal people have. You're actually starting to have some real time, location, and financial freedom that's allowing you to do things that you want to do. And it's because you realize early on how to start to use your time effectively and efficiently.
100% agree. And Raymond, you bring a good point here is phones can be assets. Computers can be assets if you're utilizing them to network, build businesses, connect with people, create content. If you're creating content, yes. If you're consuming content, no. Okay, so some things, it depends on what you're using them for, if they will be assets or liabilities, but most of the time it's black or white. So the big one, and again, if you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the book, this is the number one chapter in the book, is the rich don't work for money. The poor and middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. If you work for money, you give the power to your employer. If money works for you, You keep the power and control it. So Mims,
Yeah.
this is powerful. This is the number one lesson from Rich Dad I learned in 2001 when I first read his book. And thank God I did, because it changed my life forever. But break this down for the people about how important it is to make sure. And again, we're not saying you can't have a job, okay, or that you got to start with a job. But the point is, your goal, your mission, your drive needs to be stop working for money.
Yeah, I mean, use your job to finance your freedom. There's a certain
Mm.
time. There's a certain time where you need to work a job, so you can get some income. And if you know what to do with your time, when you start to do some income, you'll put yourself in position to where eventually you won't need the job, and then your money is making money for you, right? And so, yeah, the poor middle class work for money, and the rich put their money to work for them. And this type of consciousness, it's really a thought process. It's really an understanding, overstanding. And this needs to be taught in, elementary school, middle
Yes,
school,
sir.
high school. Like, this is something that just needs to at least be in your consciousness, your sphere of understanding, that it's possible that there are different ways to get things done. And this is what I never got in school. When I was in school, they told me to get a job. They were grooming me, to a job, but they never told me, these concepts, to even just put the idea in my mind to be an entrepreneur, or to think that I can make passive or residual income, or to think that I didn't have to go to work for money. There were ways to put my money to work for you, not for me, not even put that idea in my mind. So I think, the most important thing, like we say, it really comes down to mindset, or at least, having the understanding that this is possible, that normal, everyday people who have come from worse financial and circumstances probably than you have turned it around and found it where now they are wealthy and creating a legacy for themselves. But you first have to believe and know that it's possible. So, quotes and knowledge like this is critical, especially at an early age, but even now as adults.
You have to learn how to make money while you sleep. If you don't do that, you will work until you die,
Yeah.
and you will continue to struggle. Period. Point blank. Make that your focus. Make that your mission, and just do it. We got solutions. There's other solutions out there, but we seem to be doing pretty well. All right, now this one is knowledge over money. This, Ricardo, this is where I think most people get it wrong. You see people online, you see what people want. They're always chasing money. They don't want to take the time to learn. They just want to become rich. They just think they're going to do something and all of a sudden they're rich and they have all this money. Okay, that's not how it works. As Rich Dad says, education is more valuable than money in the long run. Don't be addicted to money. Work to learn. Don't work for money. Work for knowledge. And going back to when I was a teacher, this was huge. I would always tell kids, because I was obviously not kind of going along with the program of public education, be like, I don't care about your grades. I don't care what your grades are. I don't care if you get an A, B, or a C, or a D. The question is, are you learning and are you trying your best? Are you gaining knowledge? That's what matters. And, our society and our culture that we live in pushes this idea of just getting money or getting the grade or, doing whatever your job says to do or just doing enough to get by. It's not about that. It's about working for knowledge on that job or in that education when you have it. And even today, the last few days, Ricardo, as we're kind of getting ready to release, this, kind of trade platform we're working on, we're not necessarily making tons of money for the time we're spending, but we're learning tons of knowledge. And, obviously I know this is, you are not, I'm considered educated with my master's degree and you're not, yet I would argue you're probably making more money than me because you have knowledge, not necessarily, educational college degree stuff. Your thoughts on
Yeah.
this, Mims?
Yeah, no, money comes and goes. And, there are people who have money, and, eventually they don't because they didn't get the knowledge on how to keep money. It's one thing to make money, and it's a whole nother thing to
Yes,
know how to
sir.
how to keep money. And that's what a lot of people, haven't really got to that level, is where, how do I now keep this money? So that's why you see a lot of entertainers, a lot of athletes, a lot of people
Mm.
who had money, millions of dollars at one
Nailed it.
time, and now you find out that they're broke. You're like, how is it that they broke? They had so much money. Well, see, it wasn't really
Yep.
about the money. It was about having the skill, the knowledge, the education, the wisdom, that comes with it. And, while we're on this journey, we're not here just to make money. Money is a byproduct, but we need money. It helps us become a better person. It helps us, be able to leave something for our loved ones. You know what I mean? When you are making money, like Mike, you looking like the Hulk over there. Okay, you're working out consistently. You got the green shirt on, muscles popping,
I didn't even think
but you
about that.
but you you wasn't doing that while you're working a job. You got 40 hours a week. You trying to take care and spend time with the family. Then you got to have your own life. But when you free and you get the knowledge and then you get the money, then the day opens up to you. You can start to do things that you normally weren't able to do. So money is just it's a tool. But,
Mm.
that education and that knowledge is more important because you're gonna be able to pass that down, you know what I'm saying? Not even just to your loved ones, but, countless others as we're doing this now. Everybody who's listening, this information and new people who will listen, they're gonna take these concepts and run with them, and that's more important than giving them money. They say you could teach a man how to fish or you can give him a fish, okay? So I can give you some money or I can teach you how to make money. And that's what we love about what we're doing here is we're teaching people how to not only make money, but preserve their money and grow it at the same time. And once you get
Yeah,
these skills,
boy.
you'll never have to worry about working for money ever again.
No, and I remembered, first of all, Joe brings up a good point of like lottery winners. Like you brought up, guys and athletes, music, entertainers, whatever. And we actually taught this when I was a teacher of they got the money, they got all the money they needed, but they didn't have the knowledge, so they couldn't retain the money, right? Or people that win the lottery usually end up broke in, 4 or 5 years. And the other thing I want to add here, Ricardo, is again, we have our free runners app, and it blows my mind how many people on the team will not watch the videos, and I'm like, well, you're asking all these questions about crypto. I know they're in the app, but yet you haven't taken the time to learn the education. So now you're struggling and you're behind when you finally want to utilize it. And these are people, have been around for years. And I'm just like, take the time to educate yourself, especially when it comes to cryptocurrency and blockchain. It's not about getting rich. It's about getting the knowledge on how to move in this space that most people just can't grasp and won't take the time to learn, which is why they continue to struggle. All right. Auto invest first. Okay. This was initially just invest first, but I made it auto. Okay. The philosophy of the rich and the poor is this: the rich invest their money and spend what is left. The poor spend their money and invest what is left. How many times have we heard this, Ricardo? Oh, I don't have money for my auto saver. Oh, I can't buy silver this month. I can't invest in this. I can't do that, because you're doing it last. You're not making it a priority to always do the investment first and then to automate it, which we have multiple ways to do that. So Mims, your take on this of why people need to invest first, because if you wait till the end of the month, guess what? You're probably going to spend all that money on whatever it is that you're doing, going out, buying foods, buying liabilities, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to account for your own human error. And so
Mm,
you will find a way to set yourself up to not build wealth, to not do the right thing with your money. So the best thing to do is get it out the way. And that's why we love that when we share companies with you that show you how to do that on automatic, automatically have it come out your account and make the sacrifice to know that you've done the right thing, by accumulating that asset, by converting that dollar into an asset, because it's true. Most people will, after, the taxes, and then they'll pay their bills, and then they'll buy something that they want because, people feel like I deserve this. I've been working all week.
mm-hmm.
I deserve this $100 dinner at Benihana's. You know what I mean? Like, and that $100 that week should have went towards you getting, some silver or, some asset, right? Getting, some Bitcoin or something. I mean, whatever it is, whatever, asset you want to convert, that liability from. And, once you do that, it is a sacrifice, for depending on where you are financially. But the idea is that, if you do it consistently, for a period of time, you will find yourself in a position where you won't have to sacrifice as hard as you did in the beginning. And then you're going to actually find yourself on the other side of the tax bracket and having a much better quality of lifestyle.
Man, we got tons of people watching tonight. So shout out to everyone watching. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for following us. We don't usually do this, but let's do a hashtag rich dad. Okay. He is, my financial mentor. I'm so thankful for the books and the videos he continues to put out. And I really just want to carry on his legacy. So if you're watching right now, if you find value in what we're doing, like this, share it out, tag a few people who maybe need to learn these rules to wealth, the 10 rules to wealth. Tag them, do the hashtag rich dad, share this out, and we're just going to keep going. Couple great comments here from Rachel, right? Creating a legacy for my sons. That's my focus. And when you stop worrying about what I'm going to get, what am I going to buy, am I going to go out for dinner or buy this new thing or go on some huge vacation? No, I'm focusing on generational wealth. Ricardo, tell me the story again about, the mantle. Who's going to be over the fireplace?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is, so the thing about it is the time that we're in is you're in a position to leave a legacy for your children's children's children. Children's children, like 7 generations down. And they're gonna know your name. They're gonna remember who you are. But most people don't know their great grandparents.
sir.
They ain't leave them nothing. Right.
Right.
But the time that we're in right now, being that we're in a global monetary reset, and I hope everybody really sees that now. Especially what's going on with the banking system right now and what's going on with just the markets in general, a lot of things globally. We're in a shift in the world, and in our lifetime, we're going to see that shift happen. And if you do the right things right now, you will be remembered for generations in your bloodline because of the decisions that you made today that have set your family up for generations, after. And so they talk about that your picture, over the fireplace, okay, and they're gonna remember you. That's the legacy.
And again, shout out to this. I don't know who this is. If your guys come up as Facebook user, just go down in the links and comments. You click like 1 or 2 buttons to register with Restream, and then we see who you are. This is why I love what we do, Ricardo, right? And this person is living the rich dad lifestyle. Okay. I'm on my 30-minute lunch break at my job in Australia. Listening to you guys and gaining knowledge is exactly what I needed today. Going to download the Runners app.
Awesome.
Bro, that gives me goosebumps right there. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And that's what this world's about, is just spreading that knowledge and literally changing people's lives across the world.
Passive impact we talk about.
This is my favorite, Ricardo. This is the last lesson I learned before I became free. Learn to love to fail, right? Winners are not afraid of losing, but losers are. Failure is part of the process of success. People who avoid failure also avoid success. All right. And this is often called having a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. And learning that is what set me on my path to freedom. And this is probably my favorite quote that kind of gave me the whole inspiration to build this. Success is a poor teacher. This is why it's so important to make sure your kids struggle. These kids growing up with silver spoons or getting, participation trophies and just being told, oh, little Johnny, you're the greatest ever. We're never going to tell you anything wrong about you. You're setting up your kids for failure doing that. We learn the most about ourselves when we fail. So don't be afraid of failing. Failing is part of the process of success. You cannot have success without failure. As I often say, learn to embrace the pain. Love to fail. Get excited about failing or when something goes wrong because you know you're going to learn from it and grow from it and rise out of the ashes even better. So, Mims, anything you want to add, about what you've
Yeah.
been through or how important it is to fail and learn to love it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just know that it's not an overnight thing. And yeah, Rachel said it in hashtag. You're gonna fail forward. Um, you should learn from your mistakes, and that's the one of the key things about it. You learning from those mistakes and those challenges that you went through. So when you face them again, you're better. You know what I mean? And even myself, to get to this level where I am now, where I'm mentally unemployable, I'm free. I don't have to work a job if I don't want to. I have passive and residual income, but this didn't happen overnight. It was over a decade that it took to get to this point. And if I was afraid of failure, if I was afraid of rejection, if I just told myself, I would never, have the type of lifestyle that I'm living in and will soon be living, which is greater than where I am now, then I would just take a job. I would, and that's why most people take a job because they know that, hey, at least I know there's a guarantee that I'll get X amount of dollars if I do X amount of hours. And it's
Yeah.
really because they're afraid to fail. They're afraid to not have that money at the end of the month and then feeling that fire of like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Sometimes you got to be broken down to be built up, and that's part of that helps your story. That helps you become a survivor. That helps you, just have a better outlook and appreciate the wins more, and and
Yep.
and 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 creates a greater story. So don't be afraid to fail. It's a natural part of the process, and on our way up, we fail. Even now, I fail. Some trades I win, some trades I lose, but I'm keep trading. I still make money,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Next, your network is your net worth. The richest people in the world build networks. Everyone else is trained to look for work. And it hurts me, Ricardo, to see people in my community constantly posting on different forums and online spaces of like, I'm looking for a job, first shift, second shift. I want to make at least 15, 20 bucks an hour. And I'm just thinking like, just stop trying to get by. Like think outside the box and start thinking about a network or ways to make money outside of a job. But this is huge. And, we've seen this journey happen as, we started hanging out with people making six figures, then seven figures, then eight figures. And as we do this, our net worth is going up because our network is going up because we're providing value. We're getting out there, whether it's meeting with people on Zooms, getting on TikTok, spreading, our social media, whatever it is. This is it, guys. Even if you're not in network marketing, whatever business you're in, or just your life, it's all about your network. Mims, make it make sense why your network is your net worth.
Yeah, the network is critical. It really comes down to being exposed to somebody who is either living the lifestyle you want to live, picking up on some gems or information that they have for you. That the network is really critical because when you hang around different people, you see that they think differently, they move differently, and then when you're around your same circle, who's not thinking that way, who's not motivated, who doesn't appear to have a more excited outlook on life. You want to be around people with an excited outlook on life that are eager to do some things and get things started. But a lot of times people hang around people that are either just like themselves or even worse, they're just complacent, they're comfortable, they don't want to get outside of their box, the little bubble that they're in. And so when you go and meet other people, it helps you kind of broaden your horizon, and see like, wow, this is possible. Or see the lifestyle that they're living, see the quality, of things that they have and give you things to aspire to. So it's a critical thing. Even like when you say you're ready to buy that house, with the law of attraction, they tell you go get in that car, go test drive that car, that you want. You go drive in that neighborhood that you want to live in. Doesn't matter if you can't
Right.
afford it right now. Doesn't matter if you can see how it's going to be possible. You got to get in around that stuff, around those people, so you know what it feels like, so you can you know, bring into you, what it is that that space brings, so that way you can manifest it out of yourself.
And again, the old saying goes, you are the five people you hang around with the most.
Yeah.
So if you're struggling, if you're losing, look around the five people you hang around with the most. They're probably doing the same thing. And if you want to change that, you're going to have to change those five people. It's not always simple. You might have to separate from family. You might have to separate from high school friends or college
Yeah.
buddies or bar people or whatever, football, whatever
Yep.
people, whatever it is.
Yep.
You're going to have to let go of that to move on.
And when you're in that journey, and when you decide to do something different, you'll find out that those people just kind of move out of the way anyway, because
Yep,
you're not trying
exactly.
to do the same thing. Here comes the weekend, and they're calling you to go party or go do some kind of entertainment, and you're like, nah, I gotta hit these books. I gotta watch this course on trading. You know what I'm saying? I gotta understand this blockchain a little better. I got stuff to do. I can't. I've been partying since I was able to party. It's 14, 15, 16, teenagers, early 20s. Most people don't really
Perfect.
get serious about their life until they hit 30. We've been partying all
Right.
your 20s. Hey, weekend comes, and those people who are not serious trying to change their life, you got to get them away from you, or they'll naturally just
Absolutely
move away from you.
perfect.
Otherwise, they're going to bring you down. And that's why it's critical when it comes to even with networking or network marketing businesses, because you're hanging around people who trying to do the same thing. They're trying to improve their life. They're reading the same books you're reading. When you join a book club, what book y'all reading? And then you got somebody to bounce ideas off of. You got like, yeah, we going after something. As opposed to if it's only you and you got everybody around you and your family ain't doing nothing, it's defeating. It's it's
Yep.
it's harder, you know what I mean? Because it requires more of you to actually have that discipline, and it's hard to do stuff by yourself. Sometimes you need somebody to do things with, and so you got to find
Yeah.
those right people and
You
get the wrong people away from.
you have to have a support system.
Yeah,
I don't know any successful people who are just alone. Okay. They find people on the same path that they are.
right.
And this is probably the one I think that is the most important in anything. Is go against the grain. Okay. And again, if you're still doing what mommy and daddy said for you to do, go to school, get a job, and save money, you're losing. Okay. This is called the 40-40-40 plan. Get good grades, go to college, get in debt, then get a job making 40 or working 40 hours a week, work for 40 years, and then retire on 40% of what you made. Okay. And I'm just so thankful that 6 years ago, I was like, this is insane. I got to get out of this. I don't care what I got to do. I'm out. Okay. And it's that same fear, that the fear of ostracism that causes people to conform and not question commonly accepted opinions and popular trends. So when we're talking about mainstream media, the culture, what the education system tells you, what financial advisors and the typical give your money to 401k in Wall Street for 40 years. You're not going to win like that. You might survive, but you're not going to win. You have to go against the grain and do something that most people are not doing to win. Mims, make it make sense, please.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most people, a lot of times in their family, they're the only successful one. There's always one person in the family who does something different, goes against the grain, and they're the ones who are living a totally different lifestyle because they took the risk, because they stepped outside the box and they said, you know what, I don't care that majority of people don't like network marketing. I think it's a great product, and if I can make commissions and make additional income selling a product, then I'll do it. And it's that story about the two paths that diverge in the woods, and you took the one opposite of everybody else, and it made the difference forever. And so yeah, we're talking about that 40-40-40 plan, where most people just follow the herd, and they're going to get a lot of them financially slaughtered like the rest of the herd is. But those who say, you know what, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm actually going to start saving in gold and silver. I'm actually going to start an additional stream of income, a home-based business. I'm actually going to just do something different than the masses because it's not really hard because the masses don't do anything. Okay,
That's true.
they don't. It's not hard. It's
Right?
really
No, it's not.
it's yeah.
It's really simple. You just got to do it.
Right. Right.
I love what Raymond. You need to be a comedian, bro. You need like a TikTok comedy channel on finances or something. Yeah, it's now the 40-40-0 plan
Yeah.
with the way things are going out
No.
here in the economy.
40 hours, 40 weeks to retire with nothing. Yeah.
All right, so this is my original one, Ricardo. Is like I looked around to with what Robert Kiyosaki was saying. I was like, you know what? He missed this part. Like he talks about it, but I wanted to make one that I came up with. Put your wealth on autopilot, network, and create cash flow. The wealthy start a business dealing in assets to put their wealth on autopilot and create cash flow while they pay less in taxes. Again, this is the biggest mind-blowing thing that happened to me in my life. Is when I found my first silver business. I was like, wait a second. I'm going to take my money or my dollars to buy real money. If I tell other people about it, I'll get paid money to help them automatically save money, real money in silver every month. And I get cash flow to then do whatever I want. So to me, this is just a no-brainer. Like, I don't know how anyone, network marketing has lots of different options. Some people get into health and wellness, and that's all great. I'm not against that. But the fact that you're literally giving them trash dollars going down every month and you're getting real assets and you pay less taxes and you get cash flow, I was like, this is amazing. So Mims, make it make sense.
No, I mean that's fire quote. I love it. It definitely makes sense. You got to be a go-getter. When you're shown a better way, if you choose not to do the better way, then woe unto you. They say when you know better, you do better. What George Bush say, fool me once, shame on you, fool me, you can't fool me again. So they say fool me once, fool
He
me
said a lot
twice.
of things, and I'm sure he was mumbling incoherently at the time.
Well, it was a funny meme, but
I
what they
remember
say.
that.
Yeah, yeah. Fool me once, fool me twice. But this is the thing. Yeah, right. I mean, the whole thing is that it's hard not to hear this information, read books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, see people who are successful and tell you what they've done. They started a business that that was dealing with assets and they built wealth, creating assets and paying less taxes. And you see somebody successful today because of that, and that's something that you can do as well. There's more than enough people out here. There's more than enough opportunity out here. There's somebody who's waiting to hear from you. There's somebody who's going to connect with you, and you don't know who that person knows, and who they know down the line. You were meant, but you have to go through the process. You are worthy. You deserve it, but it's just not going to be given to you. You got to go through the fire. You got to go through the challenges, and everybody's challenges are going to be different. Everybody's path is going to be different. But whatever you're supposed to deal with on your road to success, it's for a reason, so that you have a story to tell on the other side, because somebody needs to see that it's possible, but that person's going to go through challenges too. And they need somebody who went through that fire and challenges too to know that they can do it as well. So a lot of people, when they go to events and they see people and they see this person on stage and they're like, you telling me this guy's making 6 figures? This guy's making 7 figures and he looks like that? Or they like this, it's like, man, I could do it too. Or you hear this guy's story and it's like, wow, this person lost their family at an early age, or, they grew up in poverty and now they're on stage talking. It's like, how did you do it? They didn't take any classes. They, poor in school. It's, and so that's motivation. That's inspiration. That gives people belief. And you have that same story. You already successful today. You just got to keep at it and don't give up.
Absolute fire. And guys, if you knew the real Ricardo Hamilton story, one day it will be a movie. I'm going to go ahead and manifest that right here, Ricardo. I don't care what you're going through. Someone has gone through it and beat it and done it, and you can do it too. And Aldridge, great point. Travis Flaherty, dream bigger, dream faster.
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing limiting you is your mind. As we talked about before, mindset is everything. All right, last one here, guys, is again, we're going to have fun, but buy luxuries last. Most people probably look at my life and think I'm not doing that well. Good. That's what I want them to think. All right. An important distinction is that rich people buy luxuries last, while the poor and middle class tend to buy luxuries first. And I can't tell you the stories I've heard, Ricardo, of people it's tax season, taxes are coming back, people going to concerts, and I don't mean like travel to some fancy concert, I mean some like grunge crazy concert. I'm going to get a tattoo.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to
Yeah,
buy
yeah.
whatever, a new outfit, whatever it is. This is it, guys. It's doing these things consistently over a long period of time. I'm not saying you're eating beans and rice like Dave Ramsey, okay? But you don't need to be spending hundreds, thousands of dollars on liabilities that are not giving you money. Buy the asset first or build the business and let the cash flow from that buy your luxuries,
Yeah.
Mims.
Yeah, I think
Make
it's
it
it's
make
just
sense.
a continuation of that first strategy where we talked about, when you get paid, don't buy don't buy liabilities, don't create more expenses for yourself. Continue, saving and building wealth. And just because you hit a threshold where you probably can buy something doesn't necessarily mean you can afford it. And that comes down to that discipline. And so have a rule of thumb. If you can't buy that thing, 3, 5, 10 times over, then you really can't afford it. I mean, sure, you might have the money for it, but the question is, can you afford it? And especially when you realize that you probably could take that money and 10x it, right? And then put yourself in position to buy it. So these are those mindsets as you fail forward, right? Because just because you conceptualize something doesn't mean you always have the discipline to do it, or it gets done right away. But it's important that you keep these thoughts in your mind, that you keep these ideas in your mind, because eventually you will start to rewire your mind. Okay, it will start to hard code into your brain, and it'll get to a point, and usually that point comes with environmental circumstances. So right now in the global economy, where people are hearing about the banks and they're seeing all this, and the economy is not well, now their environment is affecting them at a greater rate, and now their mind is starting to have to change. And then now they're going to start to implement the thoughts and ideas that they've already had inside their mind, which they knew was the right thing to do. But now, because the environment has changed, they're going to do them. So now people are starting to want to know, how do I get gold and silver? I've been thinking about it for years. I've been hearing about it, but now I'm starting to see some stuff looking crazy. I think I really need to go ahead and start doing it, right? And so that's the key. Just keeping this type of understanding, this type of information in your sphere of consciousness, in your around surroundings, people around you, and eventually it will start to live through you as opposed to being something that you just think about.
I love that, man. I love it. So this is exciting me, throwing back to my education days. So we're going to definitely clip this, guys. The 10 rules for wealth. I love this. It's going to be huge. If you guys want to know how we do what we do, how to get connected, learn about mindset, different companies, get assets, do these types of things, it's all down below, whether on Facebook or YouTube, or if somebody invited you here, get back with them, get their link for the app, because it's very got lots of things going on when it comes to the app. But it's down below. We have everything in there to help people win. And that is it. Lace
hold
up.
on, Mike.
Let's get
Hold on, Mike.
wealthy.
Hold on,
Peace.
Mike.
That was just for the cut, Ricardo. We're not really done. Don't worry.
Oh, look.
Just for the video, we're gonna edit it out later.
Yeah, no, smooth.
Yeah.
No, that's fire.
And Raymond, you need a comedy TikTok. You giving the was that Trailer Park Boys, right? where the guy gets the tattoo of no regrets, or is that a movie?
Mhm.
I can't remember, but you imagine that, Ricardo. You get a $1,000 tax return that you could buy a node with, pay you for life. Instead, you get a tattoo that says no regrets.
Right.
Which one do you think is a better decision?
Yeah, definitely the node. But once again, it comes down to instant gratification. I can show my tattoo off tomorrow. Take a little time for me to start accumulating some tokens.
Yeah, you get a node. You're like, I made $12 today. Everyone's like, who cares? Whatever.
Right.
Show me a cool tattoo. There we go, Raymond. Raymond's crushing it tonight, bro. We gotta give Raymond a Don DeMarco.
Right.
Node regrets. That's my tattoo. That's my first tattoo I'm gonna
right
get.
On your back.
I'm calling it right now. All right. So I didn't even know about this. Literally happened 10 minutes before we get on tonight. Ricardo's like, do you see the new email? I'm like, no. All right. So let's break this down. Ricardo, we're just going to read this live. I barely read it. Okay. Those people who don't know what's going on, we're like, have income producing assets, nodes, backed by income produced by real world royalties, where we get paid daily by gold, oil, silver, natural gas, aluminum, real estate, beverages. Okay, so project update. DLG, or Digital Link Gold, the community voted to update the DLG contract to include royalties, and the new contract is now available. The launch of the updated license will take place March 16th, 2023 at 0 UTC. The light paper with the new DLG tokenomics will be available there. We might have to do a special presentation on that because I need to break that down, but I don't want to do it now. Okay. So a new node backed by gold is coming out March 16th, which is what? Tomorrow? 2 days. Thursday.
Yeah. Yep. Massively undervalued, the DLG node. I mean, you guys have seen the 3D scan that we show in the presentations of that gold in Ghana, okay, in the land. That node is massively undervalued, that DLG node. So I'm excited for the update and see the value and the growth of that project.
Okay. Let's see here. Upcoming projects. Drip. DET is excited to be continuing to expand our participation in the beverage industry with Drip, a new token project coming soon that will be supported by the water industry. DET's partners have committed to using a portion of all profits to drill freshwater wells around the world with a focus on developing nations. Unbelievable. I love working with DET, Ricardo. They are focused on humanitarian efforts, helping the world before they're even making money. So this is huge. I'm assuming then Drip will be, in about 2 months or so, the next node to drop.
No, Drip's going to be huge. I mean, folks, there's only so much fresh drinking water on the planet. I think it's like less than 3%, 1%. It's crazy. There's not a lot of fresh drinking water. The next wars, they say, will be fought over clean water. But you can understand the ability to find deposits of fresh drinking water is critical, especially when we have the droughts that are taking place, or when we have these chemical spills, and people's ability to get clean drinking water. It's going to be, Drip is going to be huge, especially moving forward in the future. That scanning technology, just to find fresh clean water anywhere around the world is going to be huge.
And I think people get the humanitarian effort, and that makes them even more excited about it. Because making money is great, but knowing that you're helping people is way more valuable.
Access to clean drinking water.
All right. So yes, Joe, that's going to jump fast for sure. And let me answer this question from Bob. Does that mean our gold node we hold now needs to be replaced? I'm guessing here. I've not read anything. There's ways to swap out smart contracts. What I'm assuming is, yeah, the people who have bought the old nodes will be updated with the new nodes. And we'll obviously cover
Yeah,
this
we'll
and
get
get
more.
more into detail. But again, we found out about this 10 minutes before we went live, after all this. So we'll figure it out. All right. So Swipe. Debt is thrilled to announce that we have begun onboarding select license holders and leaders within IX Global to the Debt Card platform. All right. I would like to
Yep.
volunteer myself and Ricardo Hamilton to do that. Let us know what you
Yeah.
guys need.
I mean, I think that if we should definitely be one of those license holders so we can bring that information to the team. But it's going to be huge, folks. Everybody's getting these debt cards. It's going to be a good thing. Go ahead, Mike.
This onboarding process is allowing us to introduce the platform to users who will be able to assist in the support and training for the new platform. I don't know if you guys know, but we have an app where we train people all about IX Global and DebtBox. Be on the lookout for information, sneak peeks, and more from your leaders and members of the debt ecosystem. These users will be able to guide you through the process when we're able to open account creation to all users. So my understanding is again, this is a big undertaking. They're opening it to select people and allowing it to grow from there. So it's happening and it will be rolling out soon. All right, this is a big one. Our ecosystem is constantly evolving to provide the best user experience possible. We have several changes being made that will be live in the coming days and weeks. The community has spoken. Numerous requests to move the minimum withdrawal limit come in daily, and the Debt Council has listened. Beginning soon, the minimum 250 withdrawal limit will be removed, and you will be able to withdraw any amount at any time. So this is called the piggy bank, if you've been in the system, where your daily rewards pile up until they hit 250, then you can withdraw them. This has a direct impact on the ecosystem. It requires the implementation of a withdrawal fee. When the $250 minimum is removed, a $5 USD withdrawal fee paid in BSC BNB token will be enabled. The fee applies to withdrawals from the piggy bank that are less than $1,000. Withdrawals that have a market value greater than 1,000 USD at the time of withdrawal will not incur a fee. A fee holiday will occur on the first day of every quarter when no fees will be charged for withdrawals. Withdrawal fees will automatically be paid in BNB with your withdrawal request. You must have enough Smart Chain BNB in your account to process a withdrawal from the piggy bank. Now, first take, Ricardo, I'd rather just keep it the old way because I don't really care when I withdraw stuff because I'm barely ever selling. But I think this comes from the third world or people that are struggling who literally are like, I got $50. $50 can change my life. I got $50 paid for me doing nothing. Okay, so I get it. So basically, let's say your nodes are paying you every day. You have $100. Normally, you wouldn't be able to draw until $250. You can now pay $5 in BNB to withdraw that $100 and then spend it wherever you want. I love it. I think it's a great idea. If you want to save, I'll probably wait till I get over 1,000 now to withdraw, unless I really need it. Or you can wait till the beginning of each quarter and withdraw without any penalty. So I love this. What are your thoughts on this, Ricardo? I think it's a great idea to give
No,
people
it's
more
fine
options.
because I talk about DCA into other cryptocurrencies at time. And so for now somebody to really actually have the ability to take your rewards every single day and then convert that into Bitcoin, convert that into Ethereum, convert that into XRP, convert that into whatever you want. Like we said, it could almost be like having a node in any cryptocurrency that's your favorite cryptocurrency. You take your daily rewards that you're receiving from your node and you instantly convert them into another cryptocurrency if you like. Okay. And it's almost like having a node for that cryptocurrency if you wanted to, because every single day you're
Exactly.
able to buy that cryptocurrency. So I think that is an awesome move because before, obviously, every single day you couldn't just convert your rewards to XRP or Bitcoin or whatever have you because you had to wait for the 250, right? But now you have that ability, and it just, like you said, gives them more options. You might need that money to either take advantage of something that's going on in the market, or you might just need those funds really quickly because, like you said, somebody who who just doesn't have it right now, needs to come,
Right,
take
right.
that out and convert it into something else so they can spend it in the real world and handle an emergency. So I think that was very strategic. I'm very excited about that. I love that.
Yeah, I think the big thing here is there's more options, right? Wherever people are at, whatever you're trying to build for your future, now you have options. Some people might just want to and I tell people all the time who talk about mining Bitcoin, I'm like, bro, just buy nodes. And then if you don't like the tokens, just take our tokens and buy Bitcoin, you know? So if you want to do that daily, you can do that daily. Last one, of course, enhanced security. 2FA is critical security feature. Now that the majority of users have adopted to use 2FA, we will be requiring 2FA on login. When you log in, you will be asked to enter your unique 2FA code, which I think is great. Okay. If you don't have 2FA, there's no security. Okay. 90% of every website or login that you have can be hacked like that if you don't have 2FA. Passwords and emails are just completely useless, basically. Okay. It's like old school. One day, like 10 years, we'll laugh like, hey, remember when we just used to log into websites with an email and a password? We were such idiots. Okay. So you got to learn about 2FA, guys. For enhanced withdrawal security, an email verification code will be implemented for all withdrawals. When you submit a withdrawal, you will receive a unique 6 code via email that we're required to complete with your withdrawal request. Code is not entered within 1 hour, the withdrawal request will be canceled and will not go through. You'll need to submit a new request ensuring. So I think, and this happens with most security things, is you need to log in, you need to put in a 2FA, and then you also need an email 2FA. I think that's what they're saying, is you'll have an email verification code, a 2FA code, and then you obviously need to be logged into it. So this is great, okay? You cannot have enough security when it comes to crypto. All right, last thing, look for a record of all your DET transactions. Paste your DET wallet address into the search bar at BSC scan, and you will see all your transactions. Do not send DET project tokens directly to Binance, okay? Do not send any of these tokens to Binance. Use the internal swap feature available in the DET mobile app to swap your DET project tokens for BNB or USDT before you send them to an external exchange. So some exchanges have DET, okay? You can send DET to some exchanges, but like Grow, NatG, Bev, Aluminum, Explorer, you can't just send those to Binance. I was in the Telegram last week, Ricardo, and all these people are like, oh, I just sent Explorer to Binance. Where is it? I'm like, bro, have you ever even like gotten education? Speaking of what we just talked about with Rich Dad, Poor Dad, bro, it's about learning how to move on the blockchain and understanding everything. So huge updates, Ricardo. Like we might have to go live tomorrow or something, but your thoughts on this?
Major update. Bev licenses have been sold out. Okay. There are no more Bev licenses.
Yep. I saw that. Somebody tried to buy one tonight with me, and I was like, sorry, bro. We added it. Like, it's not there. They done.
Once they're gone, they're gone. I mean, you're going to have to wait to buy them on the open market, secondary market, after they turn into NFTs. But they're not going to go for these prices. They're not going to go for these prices. And especially after Bev Day and people really start to see that this is a real valuable project that's connected to the real world with real products. It's going to be crazy. You're going to feel like you should have bought more. Look, I have some. I feel like I FOMO every day. I feel like I still don't have enough of anything. Okay. But Bev licenses are sold out.
Yeah, I know how you are.
But hey, get some blocks. Blocks are still available. And then we have blocks. I mean, and then Swipe and eventually I think Swipe and Drip are coming out. So look forward to those. And look, save up. Get ready. Get them at the lowest price. I mean, look, folks, you saw how quickly Bev and blocks went up in price. You saw how quickly Bev and Blocks sold out, which Blocks is almost there. They're not gonna. The price is not gonna last because now they have a track record. They have an idea of how fast these projects are gonna go.
Yep.
And people weren't. Bev wasn't something that people were really looking for when we knew about the projects that were coming. They were excited about Swipe. They were excited about Drip. Okay, so when
Drip.
Swipe and Drip come out, I mean, I would expect the same, if not a greater rate of growth in sale. So just be ready to buy them at at the cheapest price, 1,000, 1,500, whatever it's going to be. No, it's not going to last, and what you got there? Just be ready,
bro. We're gonna have Raymond on. Raymond needs to be like the peanut gallery. He just needs to make funny comments while we talk. Yeah, bro. Think about this. Like, Bev sold out from IX Global in 2 months. Yes, there's like maybe a couple thousand left. You can go directly to Debtbox and pay through GAN for. We got these for $1,000 2 months ago.
Yeah.
They're gone. That's it.
Yep.
It's game over.
For those who have debt licenses, that was a good reason to have a debt license. We got an airdrop for one Bev license, and I'm still sitting on some Blocks.
Yeah, I got that, bro. You better get that mining, bro.
Oh, hold on. All 5? Oh.
No, Blocks. I still got
I
Blocks.
got
You got the Bev though.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I gotta run. You good, Ricardo? Anything else?
I'm good, man. Fire show tonight. We'll be putting out some content, I'm sure, during this week. Let's see how the week ends. Still crazy week, watching the financial system, watching the global developments that are taking place. So definitely stay abreast to, in your ears to the ground of what's going on. Other than that, we'll either see you guys next Monday for the Runners Monday update and Tuesday for the Runners Live show. Lace up.
Let's go.
Let's get wealthy. Peace.
So my cash stack, high yields on stable coins, yeah, that's what my bag at. All I really need is Wi-Fi, getting money on DeFi, mega cash on MetaMask. You better run when the runners run, show you how to get your money up. Dollar inflated like bubble gum, markets are jumping like double dutch. Buying up gold till I get a ton, crypto, yeah, I got some. You better run when the runners run.